Хочеш зараз? Welcome to the third episode of Helle Show. Today, I'm not alone. I have a very, very special guest, Vlad, the Metal Pilgrim himself.
Hey guys.
Thanks for agreeing to give me this interview and to be on the other side of...
Kidding me? So much fun. I mean, like, seriously, like, when else do I get to be on the other side? It's so much fun, and especially talking to you. Oh, yeah. Awesome, I love it.
So, I would like to kickstart this interview by taking revenge on behalf of all artists.
Oh my God.
And ask you the ultimate question. Why did you decide to name your channel Metal Pilgrim?
Wow, okay. I didn't see this coming. I hope that no one will watch it, but I guess people will. So, the original name for the channel was Daddy Rock and Roll, which is an utterly terrible name. It was really, really bad. But I started doing this as a small Instagram channel, actually. I was going to write reviews for new albums because I, just like many other metalheads, and especially the ones who are watching Metal Pilgrim channel, I'm actually a bit stuck with with music that I've been growing up with for forever. So I kind of wanted to explore a bit more metal, newer metal and stuff like that. So I started this Instagram page and I called it Daddy Rock and Roll. And then the pandemic hit. I was sitting at home and I had no idea what to do. Just out of the blue, I decided to talk to someone. And I reached out. My first guest was Jason Bittner of then Overkill, now of course.
Not bad, right?
Yeah. I just saw an Instagram post from Jason where he just basically flashed his email address. And I was like,
that is a mistake. Don't do this.
Don't ever do this. And I wrote him a very simple message and I was like, hey Jason, you're at home, I'm at home. Nobody else, nobody in the world has anything to do. Do you want to talk on camera? He was like, yeah, sure. Who are you again? I was like, and that's when I got stuck. Because if I tell him that my name is Daddy Rock and Roll, that would have been it. Like, that's it. Like, I mean, no one would ever watch this. I mean, yeah. So, and then I realized that, pandemic is one thing. But I used to travel before the pandemic, before the war hit in Ukraine. So obviously for the past 5 years, the situation has been slightly different. But before that, I would travel across the world for my day job. Because, believe it or not, but just like musicians, YouTubers also, we have day jobs to pay for our hobbies. I was traveling for work around the world every 2 weeks at the very least. And I was literally like a pilgrim. I would always try to arrange my work trips around
shows,
the concerts,
of course.
So I mean, like everybody else. So I was like, hey, I mean, that's what I do, right? So I came up with the name Metal Pilgrim, and I'm so glad that I did. Because can you imagine if you would be like, hey, I'm sitting with my Daddy Rock and Roll here? Oh shit, that would be terrible.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. Do you think your viewers know the story? Have you told them the story?
No. I don't
that's
think
an exclusive.
So, yeah.
That's an exclusive.
Well.
That's cool.
Please don't unsubscribe, guys.
Now, maybe they would like to have some Daddy Rock and Roll merch from now on.
Oh, shit. that would be actually a funny one.
Yeah. Alrighty. Have you ever had a band? Have you played in a band?
Yeah. I know this is kind of weird because a lot of people have been asking me, okay, you have like a couple of guitars in a shot all the time, but you never play them. And I don't. I never played guitar on the show. But I actually grew up with music. I went to music school when I was 5 years old.
So before you learned to write and read?
Around at the same time. So I learned to play piano. I graduated from music school with a piano degree, with a singing, lessons, solfeggio, basically everything like that. When I was around, I was 14-ish or something like that, I picked up a guitar from a friend and I kind of self-taught myself.
That's the time. 14 is the time to pick up a guitar.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like when the guys start thinking about picking up girls, they're like, I should pick up the guitar.
I still had no luck. Seriously, not with that face. But, nah, just kidding. But I picked up a guitar, so I played guitar. But in my first band, it's high school band, with another utterly terrible name, The Eternals. Shit, it was not good. But we played.
Back then, I would say it was the time. What years have
2004.
The Eternals.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yes.
But it was actually pretty fun. Then I actually joined a pretty well-known Ukrainian gothic doom metal band called Malinkonia. I was actually their keyboard player for a while, and then I moved to Costa Rica. So
that's a career ladder.
I moved to Costa Rica for different reasons, of course. But then I started a band, and I was a singer there because I was mostly trained. In addition to being piano, I always loved to sing. Mm-hmm. So I was trained as a singer, and I was a singer there. I was a singer in another band, a singer and guitar player in another band in the United States that we had, but it was a college band. We never actually were big or anything like that. But yeah, I've been in a couple, in a bunch of those, and who knows, maybe after the war is over, I'll pick up my instrument again.
So you guys, if you want an album from Metal Pilgrim, please let us know in the comments down below.
I'll call it Daddy Rock and Roll.
Well, everything that is said on the internet and on YouTube, it's like written with blood. Yep. Okay, so if you had a band and a bunch of bands, you know how hard it is for bands to get out there and to, pitch their music to media, to labels and whatnot. Yep. And your channel has grown so much over the past years, and now you actually work directly with big bands, with big labels, and first of all, how does it feel? Second of all, I assume you get tons of emails.
Yep.
How do you actually choose what you're gonna highlight on your channel?
Okay, that's a provocative question. I'm gonna open all my cards now. But yeah, first of all, it does feel unreal, surreal, whatever it is, that when someone like Rob Halford is actually your friend, and a lot of other people like that, of course, a lot of amazing musicians from the industry. And I feel blessed. I feel truly blessed. And if I would have told my 14-year-old self that, I would never believe that. It feels amazing. But about the emails, yes, I actually get close to 15 to 20 emails per day. And it's virtually impossible to listen to them all. Well, thank God, I actually have a couple of Metal Pilgrims who are helping me out now.
Small, little Metal Pilgrims.
well, at least one of them is older than me, so.
Okay.
But yeah, they basically kind of divine. So I have a couple of keywords that I know that hey, this is a very well-established band. I can take a look at it. Smaller bands, for example, a lot of my friends are helping me out with this. They are listening to their music. So I actually try to pay attention and try to read through and from time to time listen to all of those emails that are coming in. Mm-hmm. But bear in mind that it's a collective Metal Pilgrim that is doing that. Mm-hmm. So I physically don't have time. And once again, I have 3 kids and a job, so it's kind of hard for me to do that. But yeah, and after that, we kind of once a week before the Metal Digest comes out, so around Thursday, we basically sit together and be like, okay, these are the segments that we're doing in the actual video. These are the ones that we're doing for Blitz releases, right? So these are the 5 tracks from this week or 5 albums from this week that we're kind of selecting to push. Mm-hmm. And what I'm trying to do, at least, is to never look at the name of the band. Although, of course, let's be realistic, if someone like Judas Priest or Iron Maiden releases a new single, it will be in the Metal Digest, no matter what. But or IGNEA, of course. But really, trying to actually listen to the music, see what is out there, because I always talk about the 1980s, 70s, all those up-and-coming bands, the AC/DCs, the Judas Priests and Black Sabbaths of the world, right? But we always forget that those were small bands that no one cared about back in the day, right? So I'm actually trying to listen to the smaller bands as well. And if they have worthy music, I really try to put it in the Metal Digest or at least give them a shout out of some sort.
But I know that your audience is mostly also around this old school music and are also huge fans of Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Metallica. Do you feel that they are open to the new music, or are they,
It's actually very interesting because I always thought, and everyone tells you that they are not, but they are. They're actually very interested in new music. And since I started doing Metal Digest, my audience has grown actually quite a lot. So if before, around 90% of my audience were the people who would be fans of Judas Priest and Iron Maiden only, like exclusively. Now, I would still say that around 80 to 90% of the people are fans of those bands, because this is, those classic bands are, whether we like it or not, whether you're a fan of those or not, they are the staples of rock and roll and heavy metal. And so, yeah, they are fans of those, but many more are actually fans of newer bands as well, in addition to that. I actually realized myself, for example, that, hey, the more I started discovering that, the more I started doing these Metal Digests especially, I realized that, hey, there's so much amazing new music to listen to actually. I was always under impression that, hey, my favorite era of metal is gone forever, when I was growing up especially. But now I was like, no, I stopped thinking about those wasted years. We're living in the golden years. The Iron Maiden reference.
All right, you actually mentioned, that was one of my questions. You mentioned that you are a dad, a husband, you have not one, not two, but 3 kids.
Yep.
You have a day job.
Yep.
And you actually also have not one, not two, but 3 YouTube channels.
And I'm a head of a non-profit organization, and I actually drive the things to the front lines sometimes.
Give us some time management tips.
So it's very simple. So you remember how in college they always told you, sleep, socialize, and study, right? It's the same thing, except that you don't sleep. So I like, seriously, if I have 20 minutes somewhere to sleep, I do it. That's it. Because otherwise at night, I only have like 4 to 5 hours max.
You know what's funny about this? This is actually how things on tour are.
Yeah, it's like
so
I'm constantly on tour, constantly. The tour bus is my life. Can you imagine? That's
Metal
fun.
Pilgrim. The tour bus is my life.
That's the slogan.
The slogan, right?
It's actually very hard. And I realized that before that, in addition to all that, I was doing all of these videos. I would research, record, and edit it myself. And now I realized that, hey, and I was stuck. Like I was realistically, even if you do all the perfect time management things, you can do one video a week like that. And my channel was growing very slowly because of that. Now I just realized that, hey, I don't have many patrons. I don't have many YouTube channel members because I never promote it. But I have a couple of very diehard and dedicated people who are supporting me for that, and I'm eternally thankful to them. Like seriously, guys. And thanks to their contribution, like literally, I still don't make much money from YouTube, but I was able to take that money that they're supporting me with and invest it in having an editor right now. So and it allows me to release 2 to 3 videos a week. So yeah.
I would say, like, in our case, it's pretty much the same, because we've been running our Patreon page for 6 years. And actually, if it wasn't for our patrons, we would have disbanded quite a while ago. That's the hard truth about this. So that's why I always say huge thanks to our patrons. And right now, our channel has over 100,000 subscribers, and it's also because our patrons supported us. That's why we filmed the videos that we have, and this is how it goes. Yeah. Yes, the community.
And one thing between YouTubers and musicians, or at least music YouTubers, let's put it like this, and musicians is, once again, the same, is that in reality, in the end of the day, the only way for you to, at least to make the money back that you're investing in in this hobby, let's call it a hobby, that we have, is by, is thanks to people who are supporting you on Patreon and YouTube sponsorships, and merch sales. That's it. Like, there's no other way to do it. For example, I'm very big. Those who are not new to the channel know that I only had, I think, 2 integrations in the entire time of the channel, because every time, I receive offers all the time for really good money, but I would never want to bullshit my subscribers. They are coming in with those money-making offers, with those basically investment opportunities, and they're paying a lot of money for the Forex exchange, whatever it is, right? I cannot do this to my subscribers because I feel like, and I'm sure you guys feel the same
likewise.
way. Metal Pilgrim is a family, and IGNEA is a family, right? And so you would not do this to your family. Like, so that's exactly right. I cannot do it. So yeah, that's it. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you. All right. So, Metal Pilgrimage. What was one of the best recent shows that you've been to?
There.
Big one.
Let's be honest here. In the past year, I visited just one show. So it has to be it.
Okay.
When I went on tour with Judas Priest was last year already. So it's been like, it's not a recent show anymore. They have another tour. But I would have to go with Iron Maiden's Run for Your Lives tour. And that tour is just spectacular and is masterfully executed. It is nothing like Iron Maiden have ever done before, because I mean, it's completely different. It's a new era Iron Maiden thing. It's still hard to kind of get used to seeing Maiden without Nico McBrain behind the kit, but nevertheless, you know, like the production itself is just spectacular. Before that, I'm not going to be that creative. I'm going to tell you, like before that, if I would take like for 2 years, for example, it would be Judas Priest specifically at Rock Imperium Festival in Spain. Because, well, it was last show on the tour that I saw with Judas Priest. They did an amazing job, and Spanish fans are freaking crazy. As you know, you just went on tour with in Spain, and I was able to watch it from the stage. So it was a very, very special show for me as well.
Yeah. Actually, one of the questions that I had is like, how does it feel also seeing the God of Metal in flesh and speaking to him?
It is the most interesting thing when you meet him outside of the stage, right?
Yeah.
He's Rob Halford. He's the nicest guy you've ever met in your life. Like seriously, the nicest person on earth. So amazing. And then he, you know, half an hour before the show, he asks everyone to leave the dressing room. He prepares, he sets himself in the mood. And when he goes out of that dressing room, you don't see Rob Halford. There's no Rob Halford there anymore. It's Metal God who is walking like in living flesh, and it's a completely different feel. And the aura around him, the aura is like, it's insane. You feel this like presence of this legend of heavy metal suddenly, you know. And then he goes out on stage, he gives it all no matter how big, how small the show is. And then at the end, the moment the show is over, he does his final bow, and it's like, he's Rob Halford again. He's like, once again, the nicest guy in the world. And it's amazing. It's just wonderful. Yeah.
I can imagine. Wow. Also, one of the most popular questions, CD or vinyl?
Vinyl. I'm a vinyl boy. Like seriously, I started collecting vinyl back in 2008. So it's been a while now. I don't think that it was a big deal back then, right? I mean, because I was in the United States there. Then I lived in the US back then, and I was getting amazing vinyl records for 99 cents on eBay.
Okay.
Like seriously, 99 cents. First presses, because everyone was just doing garage sales, and no one really saw the value of those vinyl records.
So you started investing early.
Yeah, I mean, my collection of vinyl records right now, I mean, it's a pretty substantial, not as big as for some other people, but it is for the bands that I'm very interested in. It is a very cool collection, right? But the funniest thing is that I actually didn't invest in it that much money. I mean, I only spent a couple of $100 on the entire collection.
On the entire collection?
I also am cheating a little bit because right now I get vinyls for free mostly. Thank you, labels. I really love you.
Some of the perks of being a metal YouTuber out here, you know?
But yeah, I mean, like maybe not a couple hundred, maybe a bit more than that. But for the collection that I have, it is a ridiculously low amount of money because its value right now, I assume, I never valued it, but I actually can look up.
Do you have a Discogs account?
I need to enter everything on my Discogs. I started entering, so I have the 3 little Metal Pilgrims who are helping me with a lot, but they got bored with it very quickly. I gave my oldest daughter a phone and be like, okay, you scan all of these and like add them to my library. But she got bored after like 20 of those.
Child labor.
Well, you make your money anyway.
That's why you decided to have 3 kids. That's why he's raising his small metal pilgrims in-house.
No, I just want at least for someone to watch my videos, and it's like if you have, your mom, your wife, and 3 kids watching it, it's 5 people already.
The strategy. Like if you ever decide to start a YouTube channel, that's the strategy.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so then we are waiting for the day that you create your Discogs account, and I'm more than sure you will be very surprised to see like the value of your collection. And I was curious because we've got the war now happening in Ukraine, and Kyiv is really often shelled and attacked. So when I go to the shelter, I still have my vinyl collection standing, in the room. I'm thinking of, I don't know, should I move it somewhere to a safer place or whatnot? And actually, in the first days of the full-scale war, I remember that I wasn't at home, and I was thinking, like, if we had to flee, what would I take with me? And vinyls were, like, maybe not all of them, but some of them would be definitely like something that I would take with me. So my question is, like, have you thought of maybe somehow saving, or at least, trying to protect your vinyl collection?
It's always living in Ukraine, and this. It's a constant, like, you're constantly thinking about it. But then there are other important things. Well, like, I don't know, your kid's favorite toy from when she was little. And for me, it might be of a bigger value than the entire vinyl collection. So do I take it? Do I take the vinyl? I have a piano that has been in my family for many generations. It's a 150-year-old piano.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that I actually learned to play piano on, that my father used to play, that my grandmother used to play, that my great-grandmother used to play on. So it's like, it's an amazing piano that I was saving for years to restore it, for example. I cannot move it, right? It's there, and it's still heavy, right? So it's one of those, well, yes, I've thought about it, but there's so many things that
it's impossible to protect everything.
It's impossible to protect. So
Okay, well, Helle Show is about the beauty of the dark, but also about the fear of the dark and the sadness of the dark. And actually, another question that I wanted to ask you. We live in such times that a lot of iconic people from the rock and metal scene are passing away.
Yeah.
And it happens really often. Also, a lot of bands are disbanding or finalizing their career because of age and blah, blah, blah. I actually wanted to ask you, like, do you feel that the real rock stars are really dying and there will never be like the same level of rock and metal stars out there?
I am very optimistic. I'm always an optimist, right? So I hope that not. We always hear about the crazy shit that was happening in the 1970s and 80s, right? I mean, because like the craziest rockers in the world. Now everyone is more calm. And even those guys are more calm. Back then, rock was had a shock value. The society was at this level, and rock and roll came, rock and roll heavy metal came, and it was right here. So, but now everyone has kind of moved up a notch, right? And everyone went up to a new level. But at the same time, and I'm gonna say a very unpopular thing right now, a lot of people hate him, and I don't like his music, and I just want to state this right away. But in terms of what he's doing, for example, right? In terms of how he presents himself, how he behaves, and the level of charisma and everything that he has. For example, Yungblud.
I was willing to ask you this question.
That guy is insane.
He's like a reincarnation of like the essence of a rock star.
Exactly. That rock and roll craziness is actually cyclical. If you take a look at the 90s, a lot of rockers were not crazy at all. But then the 2000s came, and then there were some, crazy stories circulating around again. Oh. Then it kind of died out for 20 years. Now maybe who knows? Maybe IGNEA will trash a hotel room next time. No, you please don't.
No. I mean, we won't trash it. We will burn it. I mean, I'm sorry. IGNEA means flamey and fiery, so it will involve some fire. That's for sure.
It all depends on the times that we live in. It's not about that rock and roll is more dead today than it was 40 years ago. No, it's because rock and roll is a music, I would not even say of protest, because rock and roll is not really about protest as a protest itself, but it is a is a music of kind of truthfulness, of honesty. And whatever it means to be honest in the times that you live in, that's what rock and roll will be about, always, always. And if in the 2000s it was not needed to be honest, and to be crazy to do that, rebellious to do that, then it doesn't mean that it's not going to be the case in 2030s. You know, you never know, you never know. And right now, for example, when the world is clearly divided into black and white, although some people want to make it seem as it is a gray area, and I'm specifically, sorry guys, I know we're on YouTube, but I'm specifically talking about Ukraine and the attack on our country, for example, right? Well, I also think that it's very metal and very rock and roll to not be afraid to take sides and voice the truth.
Absolutely.
And this is being rebellious compared to many others, you know, compared to what it was back in the day.
Yeah, that's an interesting answer. That's true. And actually, like, I don't really listen to Yungblud, but I really follow what he's doing. And I mean, if even the Aussie himself, you know, paid attention to Yungblud and like they had a connection. I think that Steven Tyler, right?
Iron Smith just recorded a song.
Yes,
amazing.
yes. So that's why I think that if those iconic guys have seen something in him, then maybe there is something in him.
I mean, his music, the one that he released by himself, it's not my piece of cake at all. Like I cannot listen to it. But who knows? Maybe after changes and after the collab with Aerosmith, he will go into more, you know, like actually rock and rolly kind of stuff or heavy metal.
Maybe he is young, so I think that if you know time passes, then maybe he will come up with something else. So we'll be following what's happening.
That's awesome.
What's happening out there. The last question that I have is, what's next for Metal Pilgrim?
Well, now, in case you guys don't know, I am finally able to travel once again, although I don't travel all the time because of the war in my country, of course, and I'm running a non-profit here, and I want to be here as much as I can. But let's just put it like this, starting next touring season, there will be a lot of backstage videos from some iconic bands. I'm not gonna name them all yet, but there will be some amazing videos, your favorite bands from a completely different side. The side that, you know, they most likely, not many YouTubers, or at least I think that no YouTubers have shown in such amount and such capacity before. I hope so, at least.
That's so cool. That means that the bands and their management, they trust you to show this side of these bands. And I find it really, really cool.
Yeah, and those who are, if you don't mind, those who like know me, one of the biggest criticism that I usually get is that, hey, I'm always praising them, I'm very upbeat, and I only talk about stuff that I like. Like, I even sometimes receive messages like, is there anything you don't like? Guys, I just told you, I receive 15 emails a day of new stuff. There's a lot of stuff that I don't like. There's a majority of stuff that I don't like. But the truth is that I think there's just so much negativity in our world. And there's specifically much more negativity on YouTube. And it is a very easy way to success. I can just trash all the new releases, and I would have million subscribers by now. Like, seriously, that's the key to success. But I don't want to do it. I want to show the beauty in heavy metal, and that's why, and I just FYI, I'm not going to be talking about bad stuff about those bands unless they want to talk about it. Yeah. But I will actually try to show the cool side of their favorite bands. But from the backstage, from the other side. We'll see. And I hope we'll do the same with IGNEA, right?
Oh, well, if we ever go on tour again.
Come on. Positive thinking.
Yes. I mean, I'm here on the dark side of of things. But it was a really interesting interview, even for me, although we talk to each other a lot, but I haven't known a lot of things. So I hope that our subscribers will check out the
Daddy
YouTube
Rock
channel.
And Roll.
Daddy Rock and Roll.
No, please. Metal Pilgrim, okay?
Metal Pilgrim. And I hope that your subscribers will also check out our channel, because Vlad is the first guest, but we have plans to bring some more.
and definitely check out their music. It's freaking awesome. It's one of those new bands that I'm genuinely excited about. You know, guys, I don't say that about many bands, but this is definitely one of those.
We went through the positive filter, you know, of things that Vlad wants to talk about. We appreciate it a lot.
Yeah.
Subscribe to our channels and yeah, see you.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.